Hi everybody, I'm Rosemary and welcome to my 12 Styles of Christmas series, where I'll be sharing some fun, unique, and budget-friendly ideas in all the many styles of Christmas. I've already published 4 videos in the series and will be doing many more in the weeks to come. But in this video, it's time for part 5 and the natural materials and neutral tones of the boho style. For my first DIY, I'm going to use a glass vase that I picked up from Goodwill. These are pretty common and they only cost about $1 or $2, and you may even have some at home. Now, what I want to point out about these is that they have a raised surface design. So this one here has leaves and the other one has some wheat with a crisscross design. Now, I'm only going to be using the one of these, but I wanted to show you that you can use anything with a raised design and it'll work for this project. I'm also going to need a candle plate from the Dollar Tree. And after washing both with soap and water, I'm also going to wipe them down with some white vinegar to prepare the surface. Next, I'm going to be using my favorite spackle paint mixture to paint the surface of the vases and give them a nice texture. So to do that, I'm going to use 1/3 part of spackle to 2/3 part of the paint, and I'm going to be using a nice ivory color of paint to do that. And this is just regular craft paint. And then I'm just going to paint the vase with my spackle paint. And I will end up doing about 3 coats of this paint. Now I will do the vase as well as the candle plate with the paint mixture, and again about 3 coats. Once my ivory colored paint is dry, I'm going to go back with some of this country tan colored craft paint. I did dilute this with a little bit of water. I didn't want it to be regular thick consistency, but I don't want it to be a stain consistency either. Just kind of a few drops in there just to thin out the paint a little bit. Then I'm just going to take my brush, a little sponge brush, and I just want to put little streaks of this kind of diluted country tan color all along the edges and around the surface on the inside. And here I'm just trying to create a look to make it kind of look like, worn through paint. So just again using the sponge brush to just kind of lightly coat, and then even using dry parts of the sponge that don't have any paint on it at all to further blend. To paint the design, I'm going to use the very tip of the foam brush. I'm going to just dab it into that country tan paint and just very lightly and very gently just go along the top of the raised surfaces. So just kind of dabbing along as I go. Just go nice and slow. You just want to make sure you're getting the very top there of the design. And then once all the design is done all the way around, I'll just go ahead with my foam brush again, this time doing that little streaky motion again along that bottom edge of the vase. And then the final step will just be to use some E6000 glue and attach the 2 pieces together. And then here is the finished project. Just add a candle and some fresh cut greens and you have a beautiful festive boho decor piece. For the next DIY, I'm going to use this beaded plaque and this star ornament, both from the Dollar Tree. Now, I just want the metal piece of the star, so I'm going to just pop off that greenery at the top and then also just pop the star right off the backing. And then I'll just set that aside for a second. And for the plaque, I want to paint that back panel with some of this ivory colored paint, and that panel is removable. It does pop out. Now for the star, I want to get rid of that glitter. So what I want to do is take some of my Goo Gone and just spray it down really well with the Goo Gone and let it sit. Now I did have to do this a couple of times and I had to scrub it with a scrub brush under a faucet, but the glitter did eventually come off. There are some little, really stubborn pieces, but I let it go, add it to the festive touch. Now what I want to do on those little raised surfaces, again, I'm going back with my white paint marker and I'm just going to dab the white paint marker on top of, there's like little kind of raised dots that come up. And this way it just gives it a little bit of an extra outline, a little more definition with that white paint. And then I just wanted to show you that they do have a Christmas tree ornament in the same style if you wanted to use that one instead or do them both. But all that's left for this one is to just attach it with some E6000 glue. I also wanted to add some greenery, but since the greenery that came with the ornament has these red berries that really kind of don't go, I just went back with some white paint and painted over the berries with the white paint and then glued them to my frame. And then here's the finished project, a quick and easy way to add a little boho vibe to your Christmas decor. And now it's time to announce the winner of the plaid tree giveaway from last week's video. And the winner is Laura Peperone. Congratulations, Laura, and thank you to everyone who entered. And we have another giveaway with details coming up in a little bit. For the next DIY, I'm going to use these little dessert glasses that I got from the Dollar Tree. They come 3 to a pack, and you can get those in the kitchen section. And then also these little nuts that I got from Lowe's. They come 4 to a pack, and I believe they're less than $1. Then I'm going to take some E6000 glue, and I'm going to just glue those nuts to the bottoms of the glasses. Then I'm going to spray paint everything with this metallic spray paint in Gilded brass. And then once the paint is dry, I'm going to just take a white paint marker and make some little boho style designs on the sides of the glasses. So you can make just kind of little circles and X's, and then maybe like I'm doing here, like a long straight line, and then you kind of add little berries to the side of that in alternating, one left, one right, all the way down. And then you can do the same thing with little kind of arrows going down, whichever type of little boho type design that you would like to do. I did actually change them up on all 3 of these. I kind of did X's at the top on one and little circles at the bottom, and you can just do them any way you like. And then I'm going to just take a piece of twine and thread it there through the hole in the nut, and then I want to take the tops around and just create a knot there at the top. And then since these are glass and I don't want them falling off the tree, I'm going to go ahead and pull through a second knot, double knot it there, just trim off the top, and there you have a cute little boho ornament. And then here's the finished project, some gilded brass bell ornaments to bring some boho chic to your Christmas tree. And speaking of trees, let's see if we can take this little glitzy number and turn it into a boho style tree. The first thing we're going to need to do is remove all of this tinsel garland. It's just held on by these little nubs that are on the outside of the frame, and you just need to unwind around those. And then once all the tinsel is removed, I'm going to take some wire cutters and remove said nubs from around the outside of the frame. And I'm going to do that all the way around. And then I'm going to give my frame a quick coat of white spray paint. And now I'm going to amaze you with my fabulous macrame skills. So if you've watched my channel before, you know that I have 0 macrame skills. And so, you have to improvise. And so what I've done in the past is take frames like this one or wire baskets and other items from the Dollar Tree like this that I can just use the mop head, the Dollar Tree mop head strands, just pull them out and just basically start wrapping them around the frame. So I just take some hot glue and I get a starting point and attach the strand there with the hot glue, and then I continue to wrap it until I get to the end of that strand. Then once I get there, I hot glue it again, and then I also take a second strand and place that into the glue, and then that will start the second strand. Then I'll just continue to wrap the frame. Now I will have little ends there and other little fuzzies and things that'll pop up, but I'll just go back with some scissors afterwards and cut all that off. Now here you can see I've wrapped that first level, that first triangle on the top level, and now I'm going to just do the same for the next 3 levels. Then I will start wrapping the vertical bars that go down as well. Now for that first section, you can see where I did the vertical bars down. Now for that top little triangle, I did decide to do that as one piece, and so I just wrapped around both bars there, but then did separate ones for the ones underneath. And now for my second section of the tree, I'm going to do that same thing where I take those 2 middle sections and I'm going to wrap both of those at the same time. So I started there on the back. I just added a little hot glue and then just attached my strand there to the back. And then I'm just going to begin wrapping there around those 2 mid sections of this level. And then once I get to the end of the strand, I will again just hot glue it in place and then add a little bit more hot glue, and that'll start the second strand. Now here's what it looks like with that midsection all wrapped. Now for the next section of the tree, I was going to do another middle wrap, and then I decided that I would like it better if this section didn't have the middle wrap but did the single lines again. So I'm going to just go ahead and wrap those bars straight down, and here you can see how I'm doing that there. But then for the last level of the tree, I did go back to the pattern where I was wrapping those two center sections all together. For the stand, I took a Dollar Tree wood dowel and just added some hot glue there to the top of that bottom level of the tree. Then I took some of these little tiny zip ties, also from the Dollar Tree, and just attached them there to the base of the tree frame. There, one at the bottom and one at the top. Next, I just took my wire cutters and clipped off those ends of the frame. And then I just wrapped the wood dowel and the remaining piece of the frame there at the bottom with the strand from the mop. To create the fringe at the bottom, I'm going to take another mop strand and separate it in two. Then I'm going to fold it in two and cut it there. And then with those half strands, I'm going to just wrap the bottom rung and tie a double knot. And then continue this all the way along the bottom. And then here's what it looks like with all the little fringes attached. I will go back and trim those up a bit. But first I want to take a little wood box that I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm again going to use that country tan colored paint. And this time I am going to dilute it quite a bit to like a stain consistency. And then again, using a foam brush, I'm going to just kind of streak it across the surface, creating a nice weathered wood look. Now somehow I lost the footage, but the next thing I did was I did add some floral foam to the little drawer there with the heart-shaped cutout, and then I put the drawer back into the box, and then I put the dowel into the foam through the heart shape. And then I finished off the bottom of the dowel with some more of the mop strand, and then just wrapped it around the heart shape so that it covered that hole. And then here you can see the finished project, a beautiful boho fringe tree. And here you can see as well a little better how I finished off the bottom by continuing that wrap all the way around to cover up that heart-shaped hole in the box. And now for this week's giveaway, the boho star from this video. To enter, leave me a comment letting me know which DIY in this video was your favorite, and also include the hashtag BohoStar. Full details for the giveaway are in the description box, and the winner will be announced in next Thursday's video on October 29th. Well, I hope you have enjoyed part 5 of this 12 Styles of Christmas series. If you would like to check out parts 1 through 4, I've included a playlist in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give a big thumbs up and share with any family and friends you think would also enjoy this video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.